Hello everybody and welcome back to LMM, and if you're enjoying what you're seeing on the channel at the moment, how about giving this video a like and maybe subscribing to the channel to help us grow, and perhaps even check out our Patreon. Today, as you can see, we're doing stuff with the big red thing, so welcome back to roaming red engines. Today is my least favourite day of the year because today this thing is going in for its MOT. Yes, fire engines do need an MOT or a large vehicle exam. Whilst they are an active firefighting appliance in use by the council, they are exempt. They're looked after by their own workshops and they have their own standards that they adhere to. As soon as they come out of being a public service vehicle, they require to be an MOT, which means you have to take them through for a first MOT and then they need subsequent MOTs. So this thing is now up for MOT. It's been a big area of greyness for a long time in the kind of firefighting communities of whether one of these machines does need an MOT. And the simple truth of it is yes, because on the form when you go to apply for a new MOT, because I wanted to get this MOT to make sure I was safe with it, it does say, as an example, for instance, fire engines, which is categoric proof that it does indeed need an MOT when it is used as the example on the form. So we're off to go to the testing station, a different testing station to last time because frankly I don't want it to be away from home for over 3 months this time. So before we go, we're going to give it the good old once over, walk around and make sure everything is tickety-boo and ready to go.
First up, as ever, was to open up the fiberglass bonnet and have a look inside. One of the main things that I hadn't checked for a while was to check the reservoir that supplied fluid for both my clutch and my brakes, and having fought to get the top off, I could peer inside and was pleasantly surprised to see there was still stuff inside. And then it was time to pull out the world's longest dipstick and see if there was any liquid dinosaur on the dip at the end of the stick. But it turns out that actually the oil was a little bit low, so I went to the cab to fill it up.
For those of you who are wondering how to fill the oil up on dupes, it's done by the driver's seat, because why wouldn't it be done on the driver's seat? You're the driver, you need to be able to put oil in.
And with a good slug of liquid dinosaur added to the engine via the filler neck in its silly place down by the driver's legs, I could replace the lid over the top, put the catches back on and clamp it down before putting the sound blanket back over the top of the whole lot. This really makes a huge difference to how much engine noise enters the cabin, although it's a pain to try and get it into the right position. Following that, I could go through some other tests, like the headlights.
This thing has got a habit of eating light bulbs, and today is no different as it's taken out the main beam on this bulb. So I'm glad I noticed this before I went in for a test, because that would be a fail straight away. So hopefully I have a spare bulb and we can fit that and then just not use the bulbs until it goes in for test.
As with most vehicles, replacing a headlight requires some degree of disassembly. First, I had to take out the 4 screws so I could remove the cover around the headlights, and then I could undo the screws around the light itself. And then I could pull it out.
It's got to be an easier way of doing headlights, there really has. So this comes off, and what I think's packed up is probably this one. Don't know about you, but I think that has 100% definitely blown. As mentioned, dupes does tend to eat that headlight. I don't know why, there's obviously some kind of fault with it somewhere. But as such, I do keep stock of these bulbs. In fact, the last time I got these, I bought the local shop out of all of these headlights, which means when I finish today, I need to go onto eBay and get a new one. But hopefully, we can install this back in here and we shall be back on our way with a working truck. That pushes through the hole like that. That one goes onto there, like that.
With the new bulb installed, I could put the housing back on and put a single screw in to hold it in place.
Next, before we put it all back together again, we make sure that this bulb actually works. Satisfied, it's time to put everything back together again.
And as it says in all good Haynes manuals, reassembly is just the reverse of disassembly, and soon I'd bolted everything back on and got the housing back over the top. With everything checked, I could then shut down the bonnet and go around the rest of the truck and continue my inspection to make sure that everything else, including the tyres, was all tickety-boo and ready for inspection. And then I could head out on the road and head to Ipswich for its test.
So it has gone from being a nice sunny morning to, as it so often does, a cloudy and awfully muggy afternoon as we trundle into Ipswich. Now, there's always some trepidation about taking it to an MOT because what might they find? And obviously I'd much rather that they find stuff that's wrong with it and we can get it sorted than driving a vehicle that's dangerous, but it's just how much it will negatively affect my finances, because owning vintage large vehicles isn't the cheapest hobby in the world, as much fun as it is. And also for me, it's a bit of a weird thing to actually drive this through Ipswich, because it only ever comes to Ipswich, as it's not based here. That was Top Gear. When I actually need something. So either I'm taking it to a show, we're going through as part of a road run, or in this case, we're going for an MOT. I don't know, maybe I should bring it into town more often. It feels a weird little thing to do. It also feels kind of strange to be trundling along in a 43-year-old vehicle in modern traffic and nobody bats an eyelid. You know, if this was a classic car, people might be paying attention, but as an old truck, everybody's just carrying on like normal. So where we're actually going is a new garage, because I don't want a repeat of last time where it was away for 3 months and nothing happened. So I'm trying a new garage in Ipswich, so hopefully it's all going to go well. But what's particularly interesting is this means going back out onto the Ransoms industrial estate, which is where Ransom, Sims and Jeffries once was, being the big employer, the big manufacturing powerhouse that Ipswich was once known for. So it's kind of nice to go onto the estate for a reason. And the other big thing is it looks like it might rain. And I really hope it rains once I've got this safely back to the shed, because it doesn't like getting wet. As much as I want it to rain, because that's, you know, going to clear the air and get rid of this awful mugginess, I'd rather she didn't get wet. She doesn't like getting wet. I am very nervous. So very, very nervous. And of course, go on, yeah. Here we go. So this is Ransoms. This is the estate that was part of, or built around, the once great manufacturing firm that put Ipswich on the map. And Ransoms, if you don't know, they were a worldwide superpower of building stuff. Oof. You could find Ransom, Sims and Jeffries engines all over the world. They were exported to the entire empire. The company still survives today, technically. They, in fact, there it is. Oof. That's a bump, and then see, that's Ransoms over there, which is now mostly lawnmowers, I think. That's what they do. So, huge, great, come on, huge, great company, which is now not such a huge, great company. I used to joke, I used to work somewhere around here when I was driving lorries at a company that doesn't exist anymore. And I used to joke about bringing the truck and going to work in the truck, just to kind of muck everybody over if I, you know, Jesus, bringing the big thing in.
Having not actually visited this testing centre before, I had a couple of rather large questions. The first of which being,
oh, where should we stick this thing?
And having decided to leave it slap bang in the middle of the yard, I powered down and headed off to find somebody. I was told I was in the right place and to leave the truck there for them to start doing the test, but I'm not allowed to go and film any of it, so I figured the best thing I could do would be to sit back and make myself a drink. Waiting for a large vehicle exam is pretty boring, and you can feel your energy levels start to ebb, which is why I turned to Holy Energy for that pick-me-up. And now there's a brand new flavour, Dragon Fruit Dragon. And if energy drinks aren't for you, how about the brand new pleasantly sweet and deliciously tart Holy Darjeeling Iced Tea with a sweet honey twist. Packed with valuable antitoxins and superfoods, this strengthens you from the inside without sugar or added caffeine. And frankly, I think it's delicious, and it's quickly become my go-to drink. And with less than 20 calories per serving, it's going to be good for my weight, and studies show that the superfoods and antitoxins that it's stuffed with have an immune boosting and relaxing effect, which is good because I both need to relax and can't afford to get ill with all the filming that I need to do. And don't forget to use the codes on screen to get money off when you order and help support the people who help support the channel. And with that, I think they've done testing dupes.
So we have now exited the MOT centre because I can't film when they're doing the exam. And I have good news. She's passed. So I've got another year's motoring with her. She's all good. She's above board. Everything's good. In fact, the tester really liked her. He was like, it's really nice to see these old vehicles still on the road. Good for you for keeping it going. I'm like, thank you. So she appears to be in pretty good nick, and that's really good. So now all I've got to do is take it back to the shed. But brilliant to have a clean bill of health for the thing moving onwards. Hopefully I'm going to get there before the rain. It is 100% going to storm. I can feel it in my bones. I cannot tell you the level of relief to be in this thing and be told that, yeah, it's okay. That there's nothing I need to particularly worry about. Oof. That speed bump I did not see. Oof. That one I did see, but it didn't make it any better. But it's great that there's nothing I particularly need to panic over. It's kind of these moments though, when you're trundling along after some good news. I'm now just 100% expecting it to not get home. And just like that, we've returned to the shed with our shiny new MOT. And I'll admit that this has been a fairly boring video. It's gone out, it's gone and had an MOT, and it's come home again with an MOT. But that's exactly how I like these videos to be. Simple and no problems. It got through. It's had no issues. It's absolutely fantastic. So, another year of motoring with this thing. So, if you have enjoyed this video, how about clicking somewhere over there for some more fire engine adventures, or down there for, I don't know, something else. And with that, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you have, maybe give this video a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments below how surprised you are that this thing went straight through. And we'll see you next time. Now all that remains is to put it back in the shed. So we'll see you later. Ta-da. Good job, dupes. Good job.